Hello and welcome to my review of the Space Marines Company Heroes for Warhammer 40,000 from Games Workshop. Now, a box of these will cost you £40 and comprises of 90 plastic components. The format of this review will be as follows. I'll look at all of the miniatures up close individually, and I'll go through how easy they were to build. We'll have a look at the spare parts, and then I'll go through the size comparisons, and we'll end up with the rules for them. Now, this set is expensive, and if you're on the fence about picking it up, this review may well aid you in that decision, and that's what all of these videos are about. They're trying to help you decide whether or not it's worth all of your hard-earned cash. If you're currently trying to decide whether to pick up this set or the Stern Guard, hands down, go for the Stern Guard straight away. You know, that is the best kit of the Space Marine release, in my opinion. One of the highlights of this kit, though, is that it includes a Primaris Captain. We've only really had the 2-sprue Captain from 9th edition, currently out of stock from Games Workshop web store. Put it in perspective, that Captain is £25. Yeah, you could probably get him for a discount. You can also get this hero set for a discount, but that means that if you wanted to get a Captain and this is available, buying this would be a good decision, because for £15 more you're getting all of those other 4 Primaris Space Marines, one of which is an Ancient, and an Ancient himself is normally £25. So you're already at £10 more than this box set price point for those 2 HQ characters, and they are separate units in the codex as well. Another thing to think about, though, is you could buy 1 box of Stern Guard, and if you've got some intercessors lying around, you could make your own heroes. Nothing stopping you from doing that with the parts left over from the Stern Guard set, especially if you already have an Ancient and a Captain. Who is this set for? I would say any Space Marine player, Primaris collector, that would like a command squad. It's a shout out. Games Workshop seem to be doing this with the new Primaris kits, homages to the old minis. The Terminators are a good shout out, the Stern Guard are a good shout out, and these, yeah, it's a bit of a homage to a bodyguard, a command squad from that we had in the earlier editions. I think there's too many veteran sergeants there, veterans in this set. I would have loved to have seen, instead of those 2 veterans, which are just quite straightforward Primaris Marines that we've seen before in different forms, it is a new apothecary or biologist or something, and a new kind of tech marine. I know we've already got our Primaris tech marine, but, you know, likewise, I can say we've already got a Captain and an Ancient, but yet they've included them in this set. So that's what I would have liked to have seen. Let's have a look at these minis individually. We'll start off with that Captain, who's got one of the biggest tactical rocks I've seen so far for Space Marines, not including the Captain in Terminator armour from the Leviathan set, and I'll show you a comparison with him in a moment. But this is the normal Captain. I'll show you a size comparison with a Captain that I think he looks a lot like, all the way back from like 2nd edition. But I've equipped him, don't know why, I've equipped him with the Volkite instead of Plasma. Maybe I was just getting so fed up with Plasma everything. I might snip that off and put the Plasma back on at some point, because these are supposed to be Black Consoles / Dark Angels at the end of the day. But I've equipped him with the Power Sword, with the Volkite. His shield is so boring. I would have preferred some kind of sculpt for the shield. I'm trying to find a positive to that, though, is that you can hand, you know, free paint an icon or something, or put a transfer on, and, you know, that means that loads of these captains are going to look a little bit different. But the thing is, they're all in the same pose anyway, so that kind of negates, you know, the repetition of a sculpt on the shield. It's an alright mini. it's not kind of that tier of an individual captain, but it's still all right. You know, it's got an amount of detail. There's nothing, you know, unique about him on his pistol. This is quite nice though. This little screen and things inbuilt onto his van brace. He's got the Aquila on his right shoulder pauldron. His left pauldron, although it's a bit basic looking, it does have these kind of spikes on that flared edge. His power sword says Mortis on it, which is a bit heretical, I guess. Legio Mortis. Again, spikes on these knee guards, some purity seals, this big old jewel thing. His helmet is fine. It's what I would have expected the helmet for the captain to have, jump pack captain, but it's a little bit of a laurel with a skull, and that's it. Oh, and yeah, obviously all of these heroes come with this kind of gold marker to highlight that they're really important, and that enemy Necrons or whoever can just target them and wipe them out, or Tau even. It's yeah, I mean, it sets them apart, I guess, from a distance. So there is that, but as if painting their pauldrons edges gold wasn't enough, they've also got this little icon thing. So that's the captain. Whether or not you think he's worth the £25 or even 20, he is included in this £40 set. Next model, probably my favourite of the set, is the Ancient. Fantastic. I much prefer him holding the standard with two hands. He's got his bolt rifle underslung, hidden away. He's got some long purity seals on this awesome cloak, which there is a bit of a join seam, so you'll need to kind of file that out. His power plant is very basic, nothing special about that, and he is missing his command squad icon. It would have been nice to have one of these on his power plant as well, just so that he matches with his brothers. You know, if the banner falls, which, you know, he'd probably fall before his banner fell, then at least he could match. If for whatever reason, you know, the standard was captured or lost, at least he'd match his brothers. There's some detail, like there's some detail that's hidden away in places. His helmet has like a skull icon on. His shoulder pauldron has this funky command squad type symbol. I think all of them have this kind of symbol, with the exception of the captain. So yeah, nice Ancient there. I do prefer him to the older Ancient. Then we've got another mini, which is quite cool, and that is the company champion. Looks pretty nice. He's got his power sword. Van braces look good. There's some kind of purity seal strap thing on there. He's got his tassets, quite big tassets on there. You've got a little jewel, and you got the icon and a skull on that kind of knight looking helmet. Both of his pauldrons are flared as well, with some iconography, which is nice. He's got his heavy bolt pistol probably at the back, and some canisters, and he's on a little bit of a tactical rock. It's quite a cool, understated model, and then you just go and paint his helmet bright gold. Then you've got this veteran. I don't know, I would have preferred a more esoteric weapon for the heavy weapon in the unit, or even just a special weapon. I'm not sure why we need a heavy bolter in the command squad. Some kind of grav cannon or plasma gun or melter. I think that would have suited this force better. But they've given him a heavy bolter with this funky guard on. You don't need to have that guard on at all. I've just done it because it's on the box. But you can take all of this off, and there's no gaps to even show that one of these exists. The Stone Guard set doesn't have these extra parts. For example, he's got a drum-fed magazine there, and he's got one behind him, which, yeah, it doesn't look like it would get in the way. He's got like a optic sight. Shoulder pauldron is a little bit different on all of them, really. The tassets look really cool out of them all. These ones are flared and they're big and bulky. He doesn't have one on the other side though, so he's only got one tasset, which makes sense if he's, you know, showcasing this part of his armour to anything. And his gorget, I must mention that the gorget is really big. It's a bigger flared gorget that is actually raised higher on one side, which is a great attention to detail there. I like that. So that's the veteran, one of them. And then this is another one which would make a great sergeant for Iron Hands, especially if you can get like a different head, like a helmetless head that shows like a Terminator sort of face. This veteran has a couple of different sights for his bolt rifle there, and a blade. It's got a little icon. The shoulder pauldron looks different, and it's got a load of sort of rounds and also pouches. And of course, you know, it's got a bionic arm as well, which looks very cool. Power plant is the same as the rest though. So there you go. That's another sergeant. What I'll do now is just show you the spare parts. It won't take long. Okay, here they are in all their glory. So we've got a different kind of front cloth for the captain, and this is if you go for the power fist instead of the, it's a pointy power fist as well. Some people like them, some don't. But yeah, you could have him pointing with that power fist. I always think they look a bit odd pointing, but if you go for the power fist, then there's no point having the sheath. So this is the kind of cloth that he has in front. I've given all of mine helmets. You also get 6 heads. I think it's 6 in total. Yeah, with different faces, obviously, different expressions. So you can take their helmets away from them if you wish, and just give them sort of, you know, helmetless heads. They're fine. Didn't really show you these, did I? But it's nice to give them options for that. Yeah, I just decided to give all mine helmets. I think my old school command squad though, I had a couple of them without helmets, so there is that. Ranged weaponry, yeah, you can give the captain just a bolt gun with a sight, or a plasma pistol, which I'm thinking maybe I should have done. And then there's the little icon that I didn't use. Well, that icon would have gone on the tunic there of the captain. So, you know, all of these parts, yeah, there's no way I could have kind of added them to the unit, but such a paltry amount of parts, you know, compared to the Sternguard set. Please check out my Sternguard review and have a look at all of the incredible spare pieces that you get for that set. I think I had one question recently that said, oh, you can swap all the weapons and things with this set from the Sternguard. You can't. This is the thing. These are, although they're not push to fit minis, they are monopose, and all of their weapons and their arms and things will only match these models. You can certainly use the weapons and options from the Sternguard set in your normal intercessors, assault intercessors, you name it. All those standard kits, you can use those in though. I guess you could use the plasma pistol on something else. I guess you could use the pointy fist, and of course you can use the heads, but it's just such a paltry number of parts for a kit that is £40. Again, I think the price point that Games Workshop have set for this definitely falls into the, well, how many boxes of these will Space Marine players buy? Well, the answer is barely one, if they're going to get one at all, that is. Whereas Sternguard probably sell at least 1, maybe 2 per collector. So before we go down memory lane and we compare this kind of command squad to the old school one, let me just give you some size comparisons with other minis that have recently been released. So I do have the Sternguard all built and ready for review. That's my next review today. So here are, you know, this is the sergeant in that kit, and I think he looks better than the captain. I like his pose. I like the banner. Just really, really cool. So that's, you know, they're going to be the same size. I know I'm doing a comparison, but It's more of a comparison of poses and things. This is the different heavy weapons guy, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I actually, looking at it, really like the hero one now because of the flared armour pieces on the, well, the shoulder pauldron is the same, more or less, but the gorget, I like the attention to detail on the gorget with that raised piece there. Also, the stern guard's missing a drum magazine, a spare one. Not sure what he's going to do about that, but that just gives you an idea of these two. Look very, very similar, don't they? And then compared to Terminator, so there's a Terminator right there. Just compare the Champion, why not? Fair bit bigger. Heroes go well with the Terminators, you know, and nothing stopping you from having the you know, Terminator Captain with your heroes. That could probably work, maybe. So cast your mind back, you know, 25 years ago or so, even, and probably more, to the original Command Squad. I think this set was, I want to say like 15, maybe 20 pounds, probably 20 pounds or so, maybe even 25 back in the day. And you had your, these are all metal models, so you had your captain with the storm bolter and the power sword. I think I have never touched him up, if you know what I mean. So he's very paint by numbers, no shading whatsoever. I think I might have at one point drilled the holes out and put some, you know, dark soot on, but other than that, he's, you know, as he was all those years ago. It definitely reminds me a lot of the new Primaris. Don't talk to me and my son again. It's something I've probably said a lot now, but yeah, it definitely similar kind of feel I'm getting with him. You've got the Ancient and then the Standard Bearer, again another metal mini, bit of a difference there. So yeah, I mean, obviously we've got a veteran. There's the veteran, there's another veteran now. We're missing an apothecary and we're missing a tech marine, but that gives you an idea of how far we've come. I also wanted to do some comparisons with the next series of models that we got in plastic. I might be missing a miniature in these, but here are 4 of them. So again, that's my hand-painted flag. I was quite proud of that. That's quite cool. So I'm not particularly cool with the pose of the Space Marine himself. Yeah, but apart from that, you know, there he is. This is the, you know, the difference between the 2 champions. So there's that. And then again, we had kind of an apothecary, not fully white, but black and white. Maybe I should have painted him fully in white. Don't know whether I'll ever do that again. But then we've got the captain, again, similar position, plasma pistol, much bigger now. So yeah, this is where we've got to with Primaris. I just thought that would be a fun little trip down memory lane in this review. So looking at my older painted miniatures and dreaming of how incredible these Primaris would look if I painted them. Anyway, on to the usual size comparisons then. So here they are. We've got the sort of Legacy Space Marine, which I've kind of compared to these. Let's just show you the probably this one is probably best. So yeah, fair bit bigger, Slime Marbo, and then an Intercessor should be same size, which it is. So if you've got other Intercessors, these heroes will work quite well in and amongst them, around them. If you're building a purely Primaris force, then yes, they're going to work very well with those. Okay, so you've reached my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for these Space Marine heroes. You'll find them in your brand new 10th edition codex, straight after all of the kind of single HQ units, just before you get into the troops with the Intercessor squad. The company heroes, the points costs for the company heroes for the 4 models, so not including that captain, is 95 points, which I think is all right. Their stat line reads: their movement of 6 inches, toughness of 4, save of 3+, 4 wounds, leadership 6+, and objective control 1. The unit composition is 1 ancient, 1 company champion, and 2 company veterans. So of course, you know, this chaplain, you're essentially getting the chaplain with this set included. So you're kind of getting 2 units with this kit. The ancient is equipped with bolt pistol, bolt rifle, close combat weapon. Company champion is equipped with bolt pistol, mastercrafted power weapon. 1 company veteran is equipped with bolt pistol, mastercrafted heavy bolter, close combat weapon. 1 company veteran is equipped with bolt pistol, mastercrafted bolt rifle, close combat weapon. So that means that, you know, a veteran has to have the heavy bolter, the mastercrafted one, and a veteran has to have the mastercrafted bolt rifle. You must attach 1 captain or chapter master model to this unit. If this is not possible, this unit does not take part in the battle and counts as having been destroyed. So yes, you have to take a captain or chapter master with them. You can't take them on their own. What are they equipped with? Well, they're ranged weapons. They've got bolt pistols, which is a pistol weapon, of course. It's a range of 12 inches, attacks 1, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. The bolt rifle is a range of 24 inches, attacks 2, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, AP -1, and damage 1. The mastercrafted bolt rifle, which one of the veterans has devastating wounds, rapid fire 1. It's a range of 24 inches. It's 2 attacks, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, AP -1, damage 2. The mastercrafted heavy bolter is heavy, sustained hits 2, so range of 36 inches, 3 attacks. Ballistic skill is only 3+ though. Strength is 5, AP -1, but it does have damage 3, which is brilliant. Melee weapons. Close combat weapon is 5 attacks, weapon skill 3+, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. But the mastercrafted power weapon has precision, and it's 6 attacks, weapon skill 2+, strength 5, AP -2, and damage 2. So that's very nice. Abilities: faction ability, Oath of Moment, and then unit abilities, Astartes Banner. While this unit contains an ancient, add 1 to the objective control characteristic of models in this unit, so that bumps up to 2. Command Squad. While a character model is leading this unit, each time an attack targets this unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll. It's pretty nice. Keywords: infantry, grenades, Imperium, Tacticus, company heroes. So again, it's got this Tacticus rule, which means it can't, you know, they can't travel in certain vehicles like Razorbacks and stuff. What really is this unit for? Well, you've got 4 Space Marines there. It's a way of having a mastercrafted power weapon that the champion is equipped with, so that's your 6 power sword attacks. It's a way of getting a heavy bolter in there, which is your 3 strength 5 damage 3 attacks. Your mastercrafted bolt rifle, I mean, has devastating wounds and 2 shots, and is going to hit and can do a bit of damage. They're quite survivable with their 4 wounds each, and subtracting 1 from the wound roll, because you'll have a character in there, you have to. And then the Astartes Banner, adding 1 to the objective control is quite nice, but I would have liked to have seen more. I mean, obviously, if you've got a captain or a chapter master in with them, then you can make use of their finest hour and rights of battle rules. Unfortunately, there is no chapter master data sheet, which is very disappointing. So it kind of shoehorns you into taking a chapter master such as Marnius or Shrike or Cantor. So it would have been nice if they had a blanket chapter master data sheet. Maybe they will have one in the future. But I just would have liked to have seen more from these company heroes. I get why it can only be captains in there and not like librarians or chaplains and things. If they could buff or make use of like Blade Guard or Tech Marines or apothecaries, or even include them into these heroes, that would have been a great move, I think, to replace those veterans. But what do you guys think of the company heroes set and the rules and why they exist? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.